Alright, before I begin, a couple things. One, I upload episodes 2 at a time. And so sometimes one episode will be uploaded before the other. But they're going to be in the playlist in the episode order that I'm watching them in, at least. Which most of the time will be correct order. Also, I was wrong. This is Bill on Campus, Season 2, Episode 10, Mind Over Merton. It's not the vampire one that I thought it was. That's the one after this. In this episode, Merton invents a smart serum. A genius serum. Genius potion, whatever. To be smarter. And it ends up getting out of control. So, we actually start mid-res with Tommy in a cage telling Laurie to go find Merton in the chem lab. When TNT walk in, Tommy is wolfed out now, TNT walk in, and they're acting smart. And then we do the opening of the episode. Merton is trying out for Menta, not the fresh maker, because Tommy's Mentos. I forgot to mention a funny joke from the last episode when the ferryman said he's going to take the dog back with him. When Tommy asks where, Merton goes, to Hades. And he's like, oh no, you're not taking him to some voodoo island. Not Haiti, Tommy. Hades. The underworld? That made me laugh. Not Haiti. Which is funny because we'll see a voodoo Haitian towards the end of the season. So, Merton. Anyway, so Merton's trying to get into Menta, which is for smart people. We see Fielding again for the second time that I didn't think we were going to see him again. But yeah, if you don't remember, Fielding was back in season 1 in the episode with the Quiz Bowl. I don't actually remember what the rest of the episode was about, but the Quiz Bowl was a thing. And so Fielding is back again for almost the minute of this episode. Merton's trying out for Menta. He's got to solve this equation. I could never solve any equation. I'm not that smart. But he gets it wrong, and Fielding gets it right. So Fielding gets to go to Menta because he lost. Tommy tells him a story about how he tried for the basketball team. He's a football player, lest we remember. But anyway, lest we forget. But the coach, he didn't make it the first year he tried. So coach told him to go have protein shakes and bulk up. And next year he did that, and he made the basketball team. I don't know why I just didn't say the football team. But I don't know. Merton decides to make a protein shake for the brain. And so he's in the lab making it, and he accidentally spells yoo-hoo on it. He doesn't see that he spells the yoo-hoo in it, which comes back later. And so he drinks it, and he gets a smart, he gets a big head, like in the thumbnail. And I remember this. So back in the day on ABC Family or Fox Family, where they had these interstitials, we'll be back with more Big Wolf on Campus, and they show a little snippet from an episode of this show. And one I kept saying all the time is Merton's head growing, going, yeah, yeah, yeah. And so I was always wondering what that episode was. And finally I did end up watching it. And this is not the first time I watched the episode, but I feel like most of the first time watches will be in season 3. I don't know if I've seen a lot of those. But one of my damnations was not a first time watch, but it's one I hadn't seen in a while. But anyway, this one, I always like the Merton-centric episodes because they're weird. And this was a weird one. But there's no real villain except for TNT. So Merton creates this smart serum, we'll call it. And becomes smart. He not only solves the equation, but paints on the other side of the chalkboard, Starry Night. The painting, he draws it in chalk. Same time. The next day, he's carrying it with him, which I don't know why he carried it with him to school. Or leave it in his lair. I don't know. But he carries it with him. TNT find it and take it and drink it, and they become smart, and they deduce because earlier the Wolfman bested them, and they deduce. It's weird. They point out, they go, "Hey, it's the Wolfman. He stole someone's letter jacket. But then later in the episode, they go, Timothy, I deduce that we have now seen the Wolfman 3 times wearing a Letterman's jacket. I'm just like, well, he wears a Letterman's jacket all the time. So they finally deduce that he comes from this school. So that's their plan to trick them. Meanwhile, in the side plot, Tommy is trying to get Lori to go to the fall formal. Fall formal. Need I remind you, this is the same year of the first season. They've already had the last football game of the season at the beginning of season 2, which is why we haven't seen any football stuff. And now it's fall formal. It's fall formal, right? Hold on. Yeah, I just rewatched it. The fall formal. If we are conceding that this takes place in the same year that season 1 did, how is it the fall formal? Should it be the spring formal? There's no way it would be fall anymore. They had their last football game, which takes place just before the winter. So it should be winter already. There's no snow here, by the way. And actually, we don't get to Christmas until season 3, because there's a Christmas-centric episode. There's that. But if we're to believe the first 2 seasons have taken place within the same calendar year, how is it still fall? Episode 1 of season 1 is the first day of senior year, which would be the beginning of fall, close to the beginning of fall. And now, the fall formal. Was the first season of the show literally only over 22 days? Because that's just weird. How is it only the fall formal? Makes no sense to me. It doesn't at all. But Lori doesn't want to go. And this makes Tommy lose his confidence, because he thought he and Lori were starting to become something. Maybe she wants to be friends. So when she tells him to go out with some other girl who I've never heard of, and then he's like, oh, hey, why don't you go with this guy? And she's like, oh, if it means that much, I'll go to the dance. She's like, good, you should go. You should go with this guy. And throwing it back at her. Then, ultimately, she ends up going to the dance with him, which, due to the fact that we started the episode in mid-res, we already know that is going to happen. So, there's not really any sort of will they, won't they with that. We know they're both going to be at the dance, because that's how the episode started. And we know that TNT are going to drink the smart potion. Once he makes it, we're like, oh, that's what's going to happen. The TNT are going to drink it. And so, yeah, starting off the episode in mid-res, like The Flash does a lot. At least within, like, maybe at least once a season. We haven't gotten that yet, season 9, but, you know. But, yeah, I don't know. Starting off mid-res kind of takes away from it. So, TNT captured Tommy using their smarts. They used this CD. They say they had the latest pop dribble on it. They put it into the CD player. The music does not change. It's the same music that has been playing. Yet it just like supersonic because of wolf hearing. You know, basically it's the frequency of a dog whistle. And so Tommy has to leave. And somehow TNT don't pay attention to see who leaves. You're supposed to be geniuses, right? Why don't they pay attention to see who leaves? And then he goes to the classroom, which they're lucky that... TNT are lucky that... Did they have one of those in every classroom? Or were they just lucky... They just get lucky that he went into the classroom they set up. I don't know. It's a little too coincidental for my liking. But he gets in there, and he's tricked, and a cage falls down. He pushes Lori out of the way. He tells Lori to get Merton. He's in the clam lab trying to come up with a antidote for his serum, which he has. But he gets there. He starts having pains in his brain, which is ironic because it's coincidental because he hasn't had any until now. One, when he first one, he's having the brain farts or whatever, pain in the brain, you should say. And so, sorry, I have a nose problem tonight. Can't think. So Tommy though was able to knock them out right the bars, which why don't they use silver bars? I don't know. Able to get out, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna go. And Merton's like, oh, fleeing, a noble idea, but yeah, TNT have probably got your fingerprints from the cage and are looking into school's fingerprint database, which apparently is a thing. I don't think it is, but okay, to see who the Wolfman is. So Merton has the antidote stuff, and he's like, okay, you do it, I'm gonna stay here. He doesn't want to get hit with it. And so he's like, okay, so you crank the thing, you throw it, and it should work. Of course, it doesn't work because Merton has to change back. So it doesn't work. Tommy gets captured again. He's hit with silver nitrate, water laced with silver nitrate. And so he's in trouble. So Merton goes in. TNT somehow don't see him, even though he goes, I don't think so, as he runs in. He activates the thing, covering his mouth and leaving. And turns TNT back to normal. And the gas seems to dissipate. You don't see the gas in it anymore. Back to normal. Travis is the Wolfman, get him. And you see on the screen that it has identified Tommy as a werewolf. But they take the screen and they try to hit him with it. So it doesn't matter. Merton, though they are knocked out and put in the cage. But Merton says, okay, it's done. But he has a painting and like, Merton, you got him. I don't want to be smart. And they put him back in there. And somehow the gas is still in the room. It should have dissipated by now. And you know, gas doesn't stay in one room. It would have floated out in the hallway by now too. I'm just saying. But yeah, so Merton is turned back to normal and he tries to replicate it. He puts every single ingredient he did before, but it's not working. Because the Yoo-hoo was the secret ingredient to make him smart. Now I have drank Yoo-hoo before. It don't make you smart. And get your hands all icky. You know, you're supposed to shake it. So you shake it, and you open it, and you go on your hands. Son of, son of Yoo-hoo. I should get a Yoo-hoo. I haven't had a Yoo-hoo in a while. It's just talking about, but it's good stuff. Yoo-hoo. Anyway, yeah, basically Tim and Travis forgot everything from when they were smart. Which is lucky for them, because if they retained any memory of anything, they would have been, remembered how to take care of them, but they forgot everything. Merton didn't, though, but he's smarter than them already, but, yeah, it's a fun episode. So, I already said I was only going to do one more, and I'm kind of tired, so I think that's going to be it for tonight, but I will continue tomorrow. I'll try to get the rest of the 12 done so I can finish Season 2. And then probably another hiatus break until I start Season 3. Unless I feel so obligated to do it on, well, not Tuesday. Because that's game day, baby. Nah, it's probably just going to be tomorrow. Because I'm thinking, oh, I could do some on Tuesday or Wednesday. Well, not Tuesday because the game comes out. Yeah, the game comes out. I'm not doing anything else but playing that game. So, yeah, so tomorrow's going to be after the last day. I'm trying to finish Season 2 tomorrow. But, so, see, it's like the longest one I've done tonight. So, I'll see you.